crackers are whiter than I'll ever be in my life because I'm a genetic mutt of damn near anything. That's why I look like this. And it's like, yeah, you get called every single name in the book by all these people to this day. They laugh as you starve halfway to fucking death, and you're on death's door eating cake mixed gruel and moldy bread. It's like, I envy them if bad words is enough to make them shut down. That's all I'm gonna say.
What do you, hold on, could you come up for a second, Jimmy? Could you stand right here and look at the camera for a genetic profile? So what's your heritage?
Everything, if we're going to be
Pull your
playing,
hair back so they can see your face.
if we're going to be playing by the golden standard, it's everything except for Native Pacific Islander and Middle Eastern. I mean, everyone wants to play by the golden standard of race, to where if your fucking great-great-great-great-grandma is like a fucking race, and that means you're part of that race. So yeah, I'm a real mysterious Yakubian ape, ain't I? Yakub really broke the mold with me, didn't he?
Alright, Jimmy, let's get you in TJ. TJ, stand up. We can continue on with TJ.
Well, Jimmy, thank you for sharing, for opening up about some trauma. That takes a lot of...
TJ's rocking is why we love him.
Okay, well, if that's working for him, then,
I hope you learned everything, Nifty. Jimmy is more fucked up and retarded than you'll ever understand. For real.
The thing is they might think that his rocking is what makes him who he is, but they're also not in the same room as him. And it's not like it makes anybody uncomfortable, but you're right, it does convey a sense of nervousness.
Yes.
And there's no debating that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, so but in terms of, your behavior in the house, there's not been anything that I've noticed that's been problematic or antagonistic or off-putting. It's really just the rocking thing, but I can tell that that's, just something that you can't really help. And I mean, if the audience likes it, then more power to you. It's working in your favor. So, I say keep up the good work, and you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate hearing that.
TJ, let's get you to stand up. Shinji, come sit. How do we fix Shinji?
Well, I've not heard him open up yet, but I've heard other people say that he's got some stories. And so I've not heard them from Shinji directly, but I am, I'm very intrigued by your stories, but I do feel from what I've heard through the grapevine that you have sort of overshared a bit of really personal stuff, which also might be kind of off-putting in terms of likability. But at the same time, similar with Jimmy's situation, it takes a lot to open up and be vulnerable, especially in front of all these people.
Seriously, though.
I understand. It's okay.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not retarded.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying, he speaks broken English. I'm not telling you to speak broken English, but maybe we just want to limit the amount of big words that we use around Shinji. You won't understand.
Why use more words when few words do trick? Is that what you mean?
What's that from? That's from
That's
something.
from The Office.
That's funny. That's
That's also, that reminds me of the old 1950s housewife saying, why use big words when few words get you dick? Because, it's the 50s.
Jimmy, Nifty still has the floor currently.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
So, I mean, you're very quiet, you're soft-spoken.
I mean, I just tired these recent days.
Oh yeah, no, I've been told by everybody that's been here longer than me that, that this is a very draining situation. Mm-hmm. So, I might be on my A game right now,
Shinji is the Neuralink porn star sex god. Ooh, kawaii VR POV king.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard through the grapevine.
Good summarize.
And I'm not going to judge you for that personally, but in terms of general likability, yeah, sometimes when we end up oversharing, it can kind of hurt our reputation a little bit. And I'm guilty of that myself. If I am with the right person and they're showing me that open body language where they're you're looking at me, you're nodding your head, you're listening, that's really good receptive body language. And then I might end up oversharing, which I'm trying really hard not to do in this situation for obvious reasons. But yeah, sometimes when we end up oversharing or trauma dumping, which to be fair, Jimmy was kind of prompted to do that, so it's not really his fault. But you know, it's really important that when people show us their vulnerabilities, that we acknowledge them for that. So when somebody does share something sensitive with you, you can say like, wow, thank you for sharing that. You know, like that took a lot of guts or, you know, courage to be able to share those types of things.
Inbound over.
And that, you know, helps people feel more safe around you, you know, to open up even more. And then that's where you can develop like intimacy and strengthening bonds with other individuals, which, you know, I'm not sure if that's really the goal here, but I think it's important that if you are sharing walls with all these people, that you've got to have
Shoulders
some
back,
level of...
stand up straight. Firm, handshake, read 48 laws of power.
Alright, Shinji, let's get you to stand up, Brian. You gonna sit where Shinji is sitting?
Absolutely.
Thank you. A lot of advice.
All right, Brian, I mean, I know I came in here kind of, you know, I'm kind of late to the party, but like, I guess, you know, you kind of really shot yourself in the foot with you know, sharing too much of your life and, you know, airing out all your dirty laundry. And like, I know from personal experience how humiliating it can be to get into it with your partner in like a somewhat public setting where, you know, you want to make your point so bad and the whole world just disappears around you, and it's like it's just you and that other person, even though you know everybody else is around, like you don't even care that other people can hear you. I've totally been there, but it's embarrassing, and you know, it's draining, and then it hurts your reputation, and then like, you know, you ultimately have to decide like, you know, whether a person is worth fighting for or not, but there's always a time and a place. And, you know, it kind of sucks that it had to happen at such an inappropriate time and place.
Well, how did it make you feel when him and his ex-girlfriend were arguing?
I felt empathy.
Empathy?
I felt empathy, you know, because I've been in similar situations where, you know, like I was getting too into it with somebody in a situation where, you know, like other people don't really want to hear it because it's your, you know, you're airing your dirty laundry, and it's not appropriate. You know, and like you know, like I said, I've been there, so I know, and so I felt empathy because it was like seeing it from the other side because I've done it, and then like seeing it, and I'm like, oh God, like is that what that looks like from the other side?
Right.
You know, it didn't necessarily make me feel uncomfortable, not any more than it made anybody else uncomfortable, but I felt empathy for the two of them.
That's very sweet.
Thank you.
Cool. I was gonna say it made me feel uncomfortable, but
Well, it is uncomfortable, but like if you know, if you've not been there yourself, like you know,
me personally, I break it off before I let it
Autistic Fight Club will hear no disrespect to our boy Jappy Sims.
yeah. You
Jimmy,
seem like
need to
kind of a
shut this
closed off
bitch up.
dude.
AFC,
I'm not.
AFC,
My heart's an
AFC.
open book. Here's what we're gonna do next, guys. We're gonna go around and one by one, we're gonna say what our favorite thing about Content Queen Nifty is. Okay? So we'll start with you, Shinji. What is your favorite thing about you can be living
Brian,
with
this
her?
bitch is making you likable. Tell HR to suck your dick. She can't get none from Jimmy anyway. Fuck Nifty, fuck.
Shinji, what's your favorite thing about Nifty? It could be living with her. It could be about her personality.
First, she's soft, very soft.
Soft.
Soft, yeah, like I mean, yeah, very kind.
Gotcha.
And also, like you can see the things objectively. Yeah, like we get good advice. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're smart and soft.
Thank you.
Smart and soft.
Jimmy, stop being a narcissist. Or the problem. You're not being edgy. Stop being a pathetic loser. Get your shit together.
Let's get one more thing that you like about her.
Yeah, because we just spent like less than 1 day. Yeah, I don't know about you so much, but yeah, you're stand-up comedian. That's a very good thing. It's hard to thinking about comedy that makes people laugh. So that's a very good thing.
Thank you.
Brian?
Within like the 18 hours it's been since I've known you, I can tell you're like an incredibly thoughtful person. Like you barely know me and you were checking on me in the doghouse, like make sure I had food, like that.
Well, you gotta speak up, Brian. People can't hear shit.
I think she's an incredibly thoughtful person. She's barely known me, and when I was going through it and had to sleep in a doghouse, like, you know, she came in and checked on me. She didn't have to do that at all. She brought me food. She didn't have to do that at all. She did that because she wanted to help and be kind, and I recognize that and sincerely appreciate it.
Haley?
I can see that you're very kind and thoughtful of others, and you definitely try to lift the mood anytime there's a down situation.
I'm not gonna harp on you, but you didn't look at her. You were looking down at your legs the entire time you said that. And I'm gonna just tack on what she said earlier. Another thing that could help you in this competition, believe it or not, it's the simple things, like eye contact. So I'd recommend if you're talking to somebody, look at me. Even if you're being talked to, you should look at people. I know it seems silly and maybe uncomfortable, but you need to be present in the moment with people when you're talking to them. It's a little rude to look at your legs when people are speaking. All right, Trish, what do you like most about Nifty here? What did I just say to Taylor?
I was thinking.
Gotcha.
So
Thirsty already.
just from meeting you, I could tell like you're very knowledgeable and you're very approachable. I feel like I can just talk to you whenever. This morning when you made everyone breakfast, like really appreciated that, and I could just tell like you are very thoughtful too. Like
There's a fish tank in this room, okay? So what do you hear right now? Be quiet. Everybody tell me, what do you hear? You hear a filter running, don't you? Okay. The mics are picking up the filter, which means when you're speaking, we just need to project our voices very slightly. Just enough so that we can speak over the filter.
all right.
Okay, thanks, Trish. TJ, what's your favorite thing about Nifty? And can we have you and Brian switch so everybody can see you guys talking? And Jimmy, why don't we have you and Taylor switch for a sec?
Okay.
And we'll just go straight to you after TJ here.
Please be careful of my journey.
So, I think my favorite aspect of you is that you're very positive. In a situation like this, it's kind of hard to stay positive, so it's nice to have an uplifting force like you around. And
Nifty, can we just get you to look at the camera and just so we can get some eye contact with the audience? Continue, TJ.
And I don't know, you seem brave. Like, you say you're a stand-up comedian, and I know that, like, it's a hard occupation to, like, you know, the bombing is sort of like part of the it kind of happens when you're beginning, and like you're on this show and you're already like telling people like very comfortably so you know, aspects on themselves that they can work on and what you like about them. You're not afraid to like just talk to people, so yeah.
Nifty, you can look back at TJ now.
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
No, yeah, I get it.
Like, because I'm all about, you know, eye contact and all of that, so.
Let's get the last couple sentences that you just said.
But yeah, so you're I don't know, like you're not afraid to talk to people. You're not afraid to be on the show. It's the weird stuff happens here, so I think on top of being positive, you're pretty brave too. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good job, TJ. Jimmy?
Thank you.
I just loved again. I'll probably sound like a broken record, so do most of us, but how I woke up this morning, it's like you really went ham on cleaning everything. And this isn't anything against you guys, but it's like I've been kind of like doing a lot of the cleaning.
Yeah, you were doing dishes when I first came in here. You were putting the dishes away, and I recognized that about you right away.
Nifty. Oh, Nifty, you big dumb bastard. Take 5 steps to your left and pop that pussy for a real one.
And yeah, it was just like, again, it's nothing against you guys, but that was just like a big relief because it's like, okay, sweet, so now I can get a second cleaner in the house. It's not that I don't like messes, for God's sakes. I hang out at an antique hoarder's house and I find it comforting. It's just more so it's like, well, okay, if I don't clean these dishes and whatnot, we're not going to have any clean dishes, and that's just a whole headache in and of itself. And I mean, yeah, especially since I don't have access to Hoarder Man, so I can't go out and dig up another china set from the ground and then wash it.
Everyone give Nifty advice because she's new to the tech.
I do also want to
guidance from these veterans, and then ground team needs you downstairs, Ben. So let's switch the tables, let them self-direct, and I'll see you downstairs. Over.
I just want to say one thing I do sincerely love about
Jimmy, oh yeah, I'm sorry, finish it up.
The last thing I want to say is what I do sincerely love about you, and I do mean it, because a lot more people need to be this way, even though we really don't see eye to eye on a lot of personal stuff. Not once have you tried to force me to be like how you are morally.
Absolutely.
And that's just something I really appreciate, honestly, because...
Okay, alright, so this is what we're going to do next. Nifty, we're going to have you take Shinji's seat, so Nifty, why don't you have a seat right there, and everybody one at a time, we're going to stand up, we're going to face Nifty, and we're going to give her advice on surviving in the fish tank. So you guys self-direct, you figure this out between yourselves, and when you're done, sit back down, and nobody leaves the room, and the next person will take the floor.
Shinji, you go first, and we'll just go down the line like this.
The advice in the fish tank?
Yes.
I don't know, because I'm still struggling with surviving here. So just don't lose yourself. Like everything can be happen. Like your eggs can come in, and yeah, some like random stranger coming to like mess your stuff. Yeah, just don't lose yourself. Like that I can say.
Okay, that's good advice.
No, it is. Remember who you are in here. Yes, that's definitely good advice. Like, don't forget about who you are back home. Type shit.
Yeah.
So David's turn.
I would definitely say that the biggest piece of advice I can give is to stay on your toes. Anything can happen in here. Yeah, that's really all I can think without restating everybody else.
Okay.
Some of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you, obviously, everyone's going to say stay ready for anything. Be prepared to be humiliated and just shit on for anything you say or do. They will nitpick about anything. Another one, like get food and rest whenever you can. That's really, really important here. It's really hard to consistently do that, but it is key to success in here. Whenever you can get food or some rest, take that opportunity. Do not let TTS get into your head. That is the entire point of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know that the entire point is just for them to fuck with you, play mind games with you. There's a lot of gas. So, like, stick to your gut. Like, don't trust everything you hear, because this is a competition.
So I've learned a lot being here. I would say like the biggest thing is like watch who you trust. It is definitely a competition, so definitely yeah, just be careful with everyone around here, because you never really know like what their true intentions are, and they can definitely turn your back on you. For sure.
Okay.
Mainly just keep in mind production, and we'll definitely be fucking with a lot of your stuff. Get really thick skin. You just gotta roll with the punches. It's gonna suck, but you also gotta remember, like, you've got a lot more wiggle room. So when you see us doing challenges that look painful as fuck, like, production won't punish you as much, if at all, if you want to be like, hey, yo, yeah, I can't do this. I mean, shit, and if it even gets really that bad, like, I don't think production will punish you. Like, say if you wanted to be like, yo, I'm opening up this fucking door, I don't know where it goes to, like, production probably wouldn't, like, they'd care, but not as much as they would if it was one of us who did it. And you just gotta remember, like, you got that wiggle room. You honestly sound like a jack of all trades. You sound like you're really talented in a lot of fields. I know it's hard, like, believe me, it's hard for me to get over myself and, like, put my nose to the grindstone and work on my creative passions, but bottom line is you fucking got this. Like, in terms of, like, when you get out of here, you just gotta show people what you got, and it's like, I know we can fucking make it.
Thank you.
My advice is don't listen to Brian or Trish. They manipulate and talk shit about all of them behind your backs and say they don't.
Well, that was cut off early.
We must ensure the existence of our Jimmy and a future for Jumpin' Jimpy Jim Jam Jimbolini Jimborino Jimmy Jim JJJJJJJJJ.
My biggest advice would be is to just, I don't know, remember to have fun with it. Like, in the end of the day, this is all, like, just comedy. It's just supposed to be fun, and
Yeah.
I mean, there'll probably be some things that are not so fun in the moment, but just think about, like, in the future, like, I don't know, it'll be kind of funny in a way. So it's just a comedy. Don't take anything too hard, and I don't know, just just have fun, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of the mindset that I had going into it. Do any of you guys want to give me like some criticisms like I gave you about like things that I could improve on or anything like that?
The only thing I can really think of is don't fall for that scam of like, oh yeah, you can't say bad words because people's feelings are going to get hurt. I swear to you upon what little I hold dear, those of us in this country and the world that have been like tormented since day one, it's to the point where bad words are nothing, and we wish we could go back to a time where it was just like being name called was the only thing we had to worry about.
Yeah.
And it's just because it's like it's a scam, and it's a scam made by a bunch of talentless snobs who are too bitter to get over themselves, so like they force everyone else to be as boring and bitter as they are.
Well, you know, I do think that our society in general has kind of, we have become very like easily offended, you know, too soft, like cancel culture. As soon as one person gets offended, it's like, you know, so like...
It is, but you also gotta remember, it's like, the media will make it seem like it's really popular, that's because they keep interviewing the same 5,000 people that they know are gonna give them the answer they want.
Yeah.
And on the internet, one person can be 500 people.
Yeah.
Like, it's super easy. Like, the amount of different, like, backup accounts and whatnot I've had for, like, ban evasions on just countless different sites is maddening. But, I mean, hey, I wouldn't have it any other way, because that's what makes the internet a fun place. It's like someone can be like, oh, or I insulted this man, and then I reported him when he roasted me back, and then it's like, yeah, you thought you got rid of me, check out my alternate accounts.
So does anybody else have any like criticisms or like things that I could improve upon or?
I wouldn't call it criticism, but
Or advice for me to be more likable or whatever. I forget that kind of stuff.
these people are mean. Like,
I've noticed that.
these people are really mean. The sweet bubbly stuff may work for some of them, but the overwhelming majority of the viewers I would consider sadistic. Like, you just have to like, the longer you stay here and the more you see, you have to like ask yourself who gets entertained. You know what I mean? Like, who likes to see people like in genuine like pain. So, and then like, and for the motivation to see the genuine pain is to like make it worse and to like have something to laugh at. Like, that's important to remember that the audience is like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I can tell you're a really nice person, and they really will. They'll try to like, they'll try to grind that out of you.
It's like Rocky says, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It'll beat you and keep it to on your knees, but that's only if you let it.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, you know, hurt people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I've seen a lot of people with the easiest lives imaginable, and it's like they decide to do something stupid and take it out on everyone else but themselves.
But you know, one person's 2 is another person's 10 is another person's 5.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like when people grow up privileged, that doesn't mean that their pain isn't real just because they got a Lamborghini
Say, you
for
damn
Christmas
turd.
instead of,
Go Texas Ranger on this bitch.
you know, like,
Tell her how you really feel. You got this Tatrius for life, Gang G.
you know, like, this is kind of maybe a poor example, but like, yeah, like if a privileged rich kid
Don't
gets a
trust
Lamborghini
retard
instead
Brian.
of a Corvette
Everything
for
he told you
Christmas,
about Cole
or
is
it was
projection.
blue instead of
10:50
gold,
Saturday.
that
Remember what
doesn't,
they
you
told
know,
you,
that
TJ.
pain for them is still real. You know, like that's their 10 when it's another person's 2, because it's all about like your, you know, your perceptions and how you're raised and stuff. So it's like, so there's probably some like butthurt, you know, privileged kid who didn't get, you know, who got to drink out of the blue sippy cup when they wanted the green sippy cup, and you know, so it's like, it's all about perception.
It
you
is,
know?
but again, that's just another scam that's been peddled, and I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. Like all those who keep falling for the scams, they never go anywhere. They go places, but it's always some circle jerk where they know if they breathe the wrong way, that whole group is just gonna turn on them like a pack of sharks. You know, and it's like, again, it's nothing against you. I'm not trying to force you to change your ways. You do you, but I do swear to you, the stuff I said, just please at least keep it in the back of your mind.
Oh, I do. Oh, I definitely do.
And it's like, I mean, yeah, it's just like, I mean, think about it like this, right? So, like, we've all been through hell, everyone in this room to a certain extent, but, like, our anger, we don't take our anger out on people that had nothing to do with that hell. Like, you're gonna hear me rant about a bunch of different people, but even then, my anger towards them is strictly at the stuff that they did to me. Not the stuff that other people did to me. It's like each person, it's like, you have your own little bottle of wrath that you save up. Especially if they keep fucking with you. Like, again and again and again, and it's like, every time you see them, like, they immediately just start talking shit, like, about you, making it brazenly obvious, like you're back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you got pented up, but it's like, you just keep that in the back of your mind, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna take the anger out on them for, like, what was me and my sister in Utah.
Are you really defending the R people whose hardest challenge in life is which color Lambo they're stuck with?
But I mean, yeah, I hope that makes sense.
No, it does. And, you know, for the record, like, what you said about, like, you know, the names that you used to get called and stuff, like, I personally, like, I can handle it. I can handle when people have, like, really strong words
Glad
to
to
say.
see Yak Tank Season 1 is going well. That's most definitely what's up, tubes.
You know, but, like, in terms of, like, the exercise that we were doing and, like, how to be more likable to either the audience or the general public, like, yeah, sometimes when you start to say certain buzzwords, it just instantly turns people off, and then they don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, but like I said, it's like, if anything, it's like, I don't do it like to people I first meet, but it's like a good boundary setter, so that way it's like, okay, well yeah, so you don't like it when I do that. I'm always gonna be that way, like, I don't hate you, but like, it's just, you know, like, we ain't gonna really get along. Cause like, I'm not gonna put myself through the misery of like, constantly walking on eggshells over you, like, I'm back at home being a kid, you know?
Yeah, like, it can be, you know, I guess, like you said, like, it weeds out the weak, and like, so, you know, if that's a coping strategy that works for you in terms of who you want to choose to associate with, more power to you. You know, that's a very strong trait to have.
Someone shut this fat virtue signaling bitch up, Jesus Christ. Not even CK was this bad. I'm gonna need y'all to psych it up.
Psych it up.
Psych it up.
5150.
This is so fucking boring. Can we do something else, JJ?
I mean, I think once production allows us to leave. Well, wait, did they just want us to like give her like advice and then we can leave?
No, they said don't leave the room.
Yeah, they said don't leave the room, so we're kind of stuck here for a bit. So those fish in there, they're definitely sentient. We're trying not to overfeed them, so just keep an eye out, like, if you see a bunch of, like, food pellets floating on the top of the tank. Like, I know I fed them this morning. They're very cute and cuddly animals, but like all cute and cuddly animals, their main mindset is like, oh yeah, give me food, give me food, give me food, give me food. And that because, like, you know, animals don't understand, yo, if we keep giving you all this food, you're gonna die.
Yeah, like a horse. Like a horse can eat itself to death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Horses, dogs, especially labs.
Oh, yeah.
Like my lab Gus, who ate a fucking rock that my dad kicked casually.
He ate it? Ate the rock?
He ate the rock. We had to give him laxatives.
Oh, God.
He was all muscle and no brain, but like that like I'm not kidding you. Like all my dogs, because he would just steal the food. They would go after him, and it's like he felt nothing. That's why my border collie Fox, like with her brain, she was like, you know what? I'm the brains, you're the fucking muscle. Because as long as I have you by my side, I can become the field boss in this house. And by worked. And Gus was such a tyrant that after he died, all the barn cats that vanished came back because they were that scared of him. That was actually a sad day. I struggled to, he got hit by a car. I struggled to pick him up and I couldn't, and he coughed up blood on my shirt. Sorry for being depressing, but yeah. Anyone got a lighter?
Yeah.
What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? Well, I'd probably have to say dogs, even though I'm more of a cat person. Like
Hey folks,
I
we've got an
always love
amazing
cats.
crowd here, but we need more energy. Come on, let's make this the most exciting room ever.
Was that a Donald Trump AI voice?
Yeah.
I thought
You
so.
can leave the room.
Oh, that was a production voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I trust it though.
CK said she doesn't want Brian to win because he won't need her anymore if he has money. What do y'all think of that shit?
I mean, I think that's just a bit of paranoia. But this house can do it to you.
You pussies need to stop crying and drink soul raw milk. P.S. Someone invite me to Crack Enjoyers.
Beta tank, seriously, can any of y'all think then ACT on your own?
I mean, okay,
Beta
wish me
tank,
luck,
beta
guys.
tank,
I'm
beta
doing
tank,
the whole
fucking
Neil Armstrong
Zoomers.
thing where I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
If you hear spankings and you hear me shouting like a Looney Tunes character, you know it went bad.
So what's your favorite animal, TJ?
I like Galapagos tortoise.
Why?
I don't know, they're cool looking animals. They have a pretty chill existence. They live so
Big
long.
brain, small mouth.
They,
Small brain, big mouth.
I don't
Shinji
know,
is
they
superior
just-
and will ultimately eradicate you.
I don't know, like I would like to just hang out with them.
What the hell?
Why are dogs your favorite?
You know, because they are usually pretty approachable
Okay,
and have
guys,
a
I
really
made an
like.
example out of me, but they said the rest of you can go down.
You
Yeah,
should all be
dogs just
thinking
they
what's
have
the most
you know
entertaining
that
thing at every
energy
moment.
where they're just like you
But
know
all you do is lay around, eat, and drink.
they're lovable. They want attention.